Hey you guys, welcome to day 3 of our trip to New York. Today we're going to be looking into historical sites. So in the photo you can see the Manhattan Bridge being built at the beginning of the 20th century. I think that it's very interesting. It's always very interesting to delve into the history of the place, of whatever place you're going to. So, do you usually research? Do you usually do research before traveling? And by research, I don't mean the kind of research you need to find a hotel or find a beautiful spots to eat. We've already done it. But I mean, do you read extensively about the history of the place, about the historical sites? Or do you prefer to get there and just let the city itself tell you a story? As for me, I approach traveling in a rather impressionistic way. Well, to understand this word, you will need to remember this famous art movement which originated in France, the Impressionist movement. This picture was not painted by any French artist, but it's definitely done in Impressionist style. So you'll need to remember what the features of the style of the styles are. So an impressionist painting is done in a very sketchy way. Here we don't pay attention to detail. What's important for us is, um, is our impression, is our feeling, is catching the atmosphere. So yeah, and impressionistic is an adjective which actually derived from the word impressionist. So impressionistic is something that is not systematic, not very disciplined, but it just takes the feeling of something. It's often used in a bad way, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I like walking along the streets leisurely and soaking up the atmosphere of the city. I think it can be very nice. Of course, with this kind of approach, I can miss out on a lot of interesting things. So it often, you know, it happened to me once or twice that I visited a place and then got back home and somebody asked me, have you been there, or did you go to this place or that place? And I say, no. Did I have to? And yeah, so it happens. But still, I enjoy my disorganized and unstructured walks around the city. What about you? What kind of traveler are you? Please make an audio recording describing what uh, style do you adhere to? So, are you an impressionistic kind of traveler? Do you like wandering around the city? Or you are the opposite and you research thoroughly into the history of the city and also make a detailed route for your city walks? By the way, this word right here, I pronounce it as route, but if you stick to the American pronunciation, you have to pronounce it route. It's very weird, but that's the case. Anyway, moving on. I would like to show you a place that I would definitely love to visit when I am in New York. It's Ellis Island. Ellis Island served as a gateway, or maybe even the gateway to America from 1892 to 1954. So basically, you know that there were several waves of immigration into America at the end of the 19th century and at the beginning of the 20th century. So Ellis Island served at this first point into which this newly arrived immigrants stepped in, and they were sitting there waiting for their portfolios or for their profiles, yeah, to be reviewed, and after that they would be either let in or sent back home. So, what fascinates me most about this place is that a huge number of current American citizens can actually trace at least one ancestor of theirs to Ellis Island. I think it's fascinating. Uh, this is a piece of an article that I found on history.com, which is a very good source. Let's take our time and read this little bit. You'll understand why we're doing this a bit later. Don't worry. And yeah, you will actually appreciate this moment and wish you could return to it. Anyway, let's read. Ellis Island is a historical site that opened in 1892 as an immigration station, a purpose it served for more than 60 years until it closed in 1954. Located at the mouth of Hudson River between New York and New Jersey, Ellis Island saw millions of newly arrived immigrants pass through its doors. In fact, it has been estimated that close to 40% of all current US citizens can trace at least one of their ancestors to Ellis Island. 40% is a staggering number. Reach out to your calculator and have a look. It is a staggering number. So I'd like to do a little grammar exercise with you guys. So here is the same piece of article, and I would like you to take your time and think about the articles that that we need here. So have a look, have another look. After that, we're going to check it together. Okay, let's have a look. Ellis Island is a historical site. Yeah, we need somehow to define this noun right here. Is a historical site. It's one of many historical sites in the world. A historical site that opened in 1892 as again same story here. So as an immigration station, because again in the world there are a lot of immigration stations. That's why we need this kind of article, as an immigration station. A purpose it served for more than 60 years until it closed. A purpose, again, in the world, there are a lot of purposes in the world, and being an immigration station is one of them. So, a purpose. Okay, until it closed in. So, we don't use any articles with year, so it's 1954. That's it. Okay, next one. Located at the mouth of Hudson River, because Hudson River has only one mouth, between New York and New Jersey, Ellis Island saw millions of. Here, is it the newly arrived immigrants or just newly arrived immigrants? What do you think? Well, here we're talking about newly arrived immigrants in general, not any specific groups of newly arrived immigrants. So we don't need any article here. So pass through its doors. In fact, it has been estimated that yeah, we've mentioned this. So they can trace at least one of their ancestors to Ellis Island. With most of geographical locations, we don't need any articles, and that's the case. Actually, you have a little clue right here. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing it up is because while checking your beautiful homeworks, which I enjoy so much, I found that there's a common mistake. It's a very small one, but still, if we want to sound natural, it means that we need to pay attention to those things too. So, New York is a city. Yeah, it's one of many cities. That's why we use this article right here. And New York is expensive. So with adjectives, we don't need any articles because again, articles are all about nouns. But when we have a combination, when we have this expression expansive city, and we are saying that New York is one of those. So New York is an expensive city. Please don't forget about this little article right here. Same goes for I'm a person, I'm picky, and that makes me a picky person. So please, next time you make your audio recordings for us, pay attention to this little bit. It will be great. You'll make your speaking even better. Moving on to your writing task. So you will have to choose an interesting historical side of New York City and tell us what fascinates you most about it. Also, please indicate how long it will take you to get there from your hotel. I have an example for you. So I checked the map, and you remember that my hotel is called Arlo Nomad. So it will take me, if I walk, it will take me 1 hour and 40 minutes to get to Ellis Island. But that's if I, go straight, which, as you already know, I don't like doing very much. So probably it's gonna be less than like this, and it will take me even more time. Anyway, share your your map result with us. And also, don't forget to put together a list of new words from day 3. If I said something which is new for you and interesting for you, make a list of this kind of words to have a beautiful takeaway from our day 3. Thank you very much. I'm going to be looking forward to your emails and to your tasks, and I'll definitely see you tomorrow. Thank you.